Hello and good evening, and welcome to The Truth
The truth
Behind the
behind
Truth.
the truth.
The truth
Woo!
indeed. All right, guys. We apologize for being a little bit behind, a little technical
Yes.
difficulty tonight. We wanted to get something together to share, what we're going to be kind of talking about. I'm going to say for the next, at least the next couple of weeks, we'll stay in this vein in
Yeah.
conversation, and we're calling it Navigating in America. As our
Woo!
topic tonight. That covers a wide range of opportunities that are out here to navigate through. Okay, especially with this election season going on and all the other drama and white supremacists and black supremacists and orange supremacists and orange supremacists and orange supremacists. A lot of orange supremacists going on. In more ways than one. But yeah, so we're going to be elaborating on that quite a bit tonight, and the days and weeks to come. So we may just kind of stay until we go on a hiatus period to navigating in America. Because from week to week, there's always something we have to navigate through. With that. Real quick before
Yeah.
we bring our topic of discussion in tonight, there's a little video that we're going to show you via the phone because we had an issue trying to get it uploaded tonight. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to hold the phone up so you can get a grasp of it, and then we'll do it as in a full bloom next week so you can get the opportunity to see it again as well. But beforehand, Charles, how you doing?
Man, I'm feeling kind of emotional, bro. I got a text today, and the text said, "I care about you, Charles, and I hope you vote for me again, Trump."
Oh.
I felt like, and I didn't vote for him, so I'm wondering where this text came from. But when I read, I went, I almost threw up in my mouth. I was like, no, he didn't try to con me and tell me I voted for him, and then try to tell me he cares about me, like he really cares about me.
Oh my God.
Well, you know what? Who is probably saying that right now? Your two buddies who thought they were going to be the pick for VP for his VP list.
Oh, you mean the two darkies?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
the
they
two
were
darkies he'll never choose. Man,
Yes,
hey,
those who were sucking and jiving for that to be on that list. The one that was supposed to be marrying his wife, whatever wife that was, they're now on his
I don't
pick
get it.
list. I wonder what's going on.
I wonder.
I wonder if they missed the invitation. Maybe the invitation's lost in the mail. Maybe that's what happened. They were
Is that
looking
what
for it and it got
okay.
lost in the mail. Yeah.
He got lost.
I mean, they were supposed to be his vice president too, but they're not on the list
To be picked.
So what was this, out there shooking and jiving and telling black folks to get out there and vote Republican, and you're not even on his list. Make it make sense because it's not making sense.
You can't make that one make sense at all.
It's not.
It don't.
It's a word we've been saying for a long time. It's called kissing ass.
Well, they ain't the only one.
Oh man.
Ass. Do y'all remember that show Versus? You remember Versus?
Yeah.
Now, y'all talking about two idiots that are shooking and jiving for real for investments. Timberland and your boy Swiss Beast, they have signed a deal with X, and they signed up with Elon Musk Versus on X.
Okay.
Now, this happened during Juneteenth. Now, this is crazy. Now, the ops is ridiculous at this point. You signed up with a guy who does not care for DEI. He called Juneteenth a host. He called everything underneath the sun black ridiculous. Wow. But you put a black platform on his platform. Now, these are two, and it boggles my spirit because, I understand that these are two black capitalists. They believe in making great investments, but you made the worst investment of all the investments. I'm just saying you had every opportunity to go to any black platform and make money, but you decided that this white man, and I'm so sorry to put race in, but this is a South African white man who grew up during the apartheid,
right,
who have apartheid ideas,
right,
who wants people to vote for Trump. He put his business down there in Texas because over here in San Francisco, over here in California, it's the workers have rights here, but he believe in a right to work sentiment.
right.
So he put all of his business down in Texas. This man does not care for people at all, nor black people, nor anything that's black or brown. Why would you do that?
May I put a bow on this? Can I put a bow on this real quick? When we're dealing, and I, as a executive producer, writer, director, actor, creator within the film and television industry, I think that we need to understand how this works. When you need people, patrons, because black people are great patrons. They'll spend money. They'll buy everything under the sun. They won't own anything, but they'll buy it all: sneakers, the cologne, you name it, they'll buy it. They're great purchasers. But when the TV, UPN, CW, NBC, CBS, well, they needed people to watch their shows. They came with black shows. Cosby, everybody, the Wayans brothers, everybody you can name. And once they get their money, they turn all white. Every one of them turned all white once they got their money. Another one that's doing it is Tubi. I appreciate the fact Tubi is helping people make money, but it's owned by Fox. Fox was the same way. They did the Wayans brothers. They used black people to get on board and get their money. As soon as they get their money, they kick us out the way, and it's all white again. And none of us are seen to be catching on and grasping onto this sentiment of how we're being used and abused. And I still can't understand how black folks vote for Trump or even support Trump. With the Central Park 5, well, what you call it, the exonerated 5, but all that, and they're putting a 5K hanging these guys. They didn't know if they were guilty or not, just jump right on it. Then he's not allowing us to. Then people putting up stuff about, well, Al Sharpton took a picture with Trump, so did Jesse Jackson. Brother, everybody took a picture with Trump, but they believed the lie that he was rich. He's not rich. He's a perpetrator. He's a fraud.
Right.
And we see to jump on that so quick. And then we don't like Biden because they say Biden signed the criminal law, but they forget during that time was a crack epidemic. And the black preachers and the black community activists went to Biden and said, do something about this. And he came out with the criminal act. And that's when we started getting mad at Biden because he stood up in front and he stood 10 toes down and said, I'm with the people in the community for stopping all this crack epidemic and all the killing and so forth. So now we're mad at Biden because the black folks asked Biden to stand up for us. He did. Now we mad at him because he stood up for our neighbors not to be tolerated. And I'm going to be straight up honest. Being a native of Chicago, Illinois, I am not a fan of gangs. I've been jumped and beat up before, which is probably, I guess, is normal in my neighborhood. But that stuff is not a family. That's crap. I don't believe in that. Everybody against everybody else. Everybody in my neighborhood work for what they have. My parents, the other parents in our neighborhood, they worked a job. They paid a mortgage. They paid insurance. They groomed their family to have something. And then you come in, you want to gangster it because you figure you're the baddest around the neighborhood. You can take it. You can strong arm it. That is, and I wish black people will wake up to the sentiment that we have to take everything. We don't. We're smart enough to overrule them within the law. We don't have to gangster it. We can still do it.
But my sentiment, I don't understand the gang culture anyway, because there's so many George Zimmermans out there. There's so many situations that have oppressed us, but they have been, that culture seemed to I don't understand the psychology and the philosophy of it when you are oppressing your own people. I'm saying this for the simple fact is you have had people being killed and they are and just thrown to wherever, and these people are still walking around, and what you are doing is killing your own people instead of going after those people.
Right.
I have issues with that. I don't have respect for that, for people who want to say, well, I rep for my community when you don't own your community.
You don't own none of that. Nope.
You're just defeating and spraying down shit, and that is the culture that I don't care too much for when it boils down to entertainment. You just said something, Charles, about, I feel like as black people, we are the entertainers, but we don't own what we entertain.
Oh, of course not.
And that is the problem. Now, if you're just watching this, we're talking about the situation where Timbaland and Swiss Beats just signed a deal with Elon Musk to put their black platform on his white platform. I understand that people want to make their money, but there has to be principle behind it. And there is no.
Don Lemon done it. Don Lemon did it. Don Lemon did it. He asked Roland Martin to do it, and Roland said no because of the way his principles, his philosophy. And Don Lemon did it, and he got mad at Don for asking the real questions. How can you ask me to come on your platform and keep it real and ask the questions people want to know, but you're mad when I ask you about your input, your philosophy, the things you do? No, don't ask me about my stuff. We talking about everybody else. No, you're a criminal. You're just like the rest of them. You need to be held accountable just like everybody else. Ted Cruz, what's his name? Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan was part of the Ohio sex scandal. He don't talk about that. He's busy talking about Hunter Biden. They don't talk about the boys that got molested and the girls that got molested for the Olympic team through Ohio State University. They don't talk about that. And then they're gonna tell Hunter he don't have no balls because he won't give up his documents. But neither will Jim Jordan. Neither will what's his name? Guest or whatever his name is, Matt Guest. He's another one who's under suspicion. Matt Case under suspicion of pedophilia. And we're not getting under that information. They just not turning it. Yeah. So why is it all of a sudden only liberals? And I say there's some liberals who got problems because none of them are clean. But why is it only one-sided? Why is Jim Jordan a known associate of the people in Ohio State who molested those kids not being held accountable? I don't get it. Where's it at?
Who's backing him?
Exactly.
What is the complexion? What is the protection for the complexion? That's what I want to say.
Oh, I like that.
There you go.
Say that again for the people in the back row. Go ahead.
Who's protecting him? What is the protection?
Yes.
He has the complexion for the protection. And that
yes.
is the inside situation that nobody wants to talk about because these people are being protected by a higher situation that nobody wants to get down with or talk about. You know what's so funny though, and you saying that, I was thinking about goodness gracious, it's gonna come to me too. Mm-hmm. But you know, we talk about Trump. For many years, Trump been doing his dealings. Before he was president, he was still doing his dealings. Stealing, basically. Nobody said not one word until after the fact. Now, I'm like this. Why wait? Right. It's too late now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Average American who believe that the American dream is taking from the little man.
Right.
It is.
And I hate to say it, but as Black folks, that's what the church believe in it.
Right.
And then you have these rappers and these entertainers and these CEOs, these Black CEOs who believe in it.
Right.
And what they're doing is selling us upstream. They're selling us back into Jim Crow.
Here's the label. No snitching. Why is there no snitching? You're robbing us. You're killing us. You're abusing us. Why we can't tell on you? That's crazy. Right. How no snitching? Puffy's been doing. Everybody that's associated with Puffy, R. Kelly, all the rest of them that was in there watching that, now they want to come out and talk about it. No, your ass need to go to jail just as much as he do. You sat there, you watched it, and didn't say nothing about it. You need to go. Big Gene, who talking about I knock out anybody who say something about it. Big Gene, your big ass need to go to jail too. You sat there and watched all that stuff happen. Watch Cassie be abused. You need to go to jail just as bad as the rest of them. Don't sit there and act like you such an angel now.
It's so true.
And for you Black people who are voting for Trump, White Boy Summer. They just unfurled the flag and gave out the shirts and the hat. White Boy Summer. I hope y'all understand that it's bigger than what you're thinking. That they have a plan. We talked about
Project 2025.
Yeah.
Project 2025. Project 2025. Read it.
It's becoming news little by little. The light is shining on this plan, but see, they still don't understand.
Right.
This thing is bigger than your chump check.
Right.
It's bigger it's bigger than that.
You know, before we go to break, we want to, and we're going to play this a little bit of it. I'm going to have to hold it up to the screen for you guys to get the gist of it. And we want you to hear and understand that after African Americans are not the only ones that are suffering, in America in terms of their idea and not voting for this idiot that y'all tend to think that everybody white is voting for Trump, and that's not true. It's not true. So listen to this, and we're going to play it in a better video light next week. But we do want to give you a little clip of it right now to hear what this gentleman is saying in his disappointment. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to play it for you. Okay, listen up now.
I know you gotta be at the same level of mental health as me. Every day it's something new between the fucking news and the fucking stupid Biden and stupid Trump. And this country's fucked. Every day we're spending more and more money. None of us are getting ahead. The rich people are the ones that are fucking getting ahead. I'm tired of struggling. I've done everything I can. I'm trying to be a good man. I take care of my dog. I take care of my wife. The best I can. I can't keep going. Every day it's something new. And then on top of that, as if you're not trying to spend money, you have to. Fucking everything's expensive. I own a painting company. I still can't fucking make it. I'm fucking trying, man. I can't look at my daughter and my wife and know I'm failing.
We'll let it go at that point. We'll play more for you next week, guys. When I first heard that, it did bring me to tears. I got to be honest, guys. It really did. To see you have to step into the place of humanity, at this particular point in time, and realize it's that, this race battle that this idiot has created. There are people that are on their skin doesn't mean that they're not suffering in terms of the sufferings that are going on in America at this particular point in time. This gentleman, none of us know him, but he felt the need, to come forward to share his hurt and his disappointment and what he's going through as an American citizen. Okay. Now, my black people, y'all, a lot of y'all wrong. Okay. A lot of y'all wrong. It's 2 left feet. Okay. My white people, y'all just as wrong. We are in this thing together. Okay. And when we wake up to the fact and understanding that we are in this thing together is when we will find the hope and the need for the change that we need to have here in America. When we come back from break, I want to share a couple things with you guys tonight as well, referencing some of these clowns that put stuff on Instagram, and I've been responding to them as we get along with our conversation this week, because people make some of the most asinine comments, about things that are out there, and I have gotten to the point that I am just absolutely tired. So if you follow me on Instagram, if I see you on Instagram and you making some stupid ass comment, I am coming for your ass one way or the other. Okay, because somebody got to tell you the truth behind the truth. Okay, you religious sectors, I'm coming after y'all because I'm so tired of y'all misquoting scripture, laying the Bible on everything. Okay, and God ain't got nothing to do with it, but you want to blame God for it. Okay, or he coming back, or he doing this, or that's happening because God did it, or this person filled with the devil and all that. I mean, y'all need to stop that shit. Stop it. Okay, but anyway, we got a quick break. We'll go to, and we will be right back with more discussion on the truth behind the truth. Where are you navigating yourself in America? We'll be right back. All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. As I said, tonight's show and maybe the next film, we're going to be calling it Navigating in America, okay? Because we really have got some serious navigating to do, people. We really do, you know? But anyway, let's just talk about real briefly. I'm going to be pulling on some things while we're discussing the gentleman that we shared, you know, at his point. I think that was originally on TikTok. It was originally a TikTok video that he put out there, and I hope that he got a lot of hits from it. You know,
well,
I mean,
he did get a lot of hits. He did from it.
But go ahead, make your point.
Well, you know, I want to say this. Read this famous quote from Lyndon B. Johnson, President Lyndon B. Johnson. He said, "If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pockets."
Wow.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, history is repeating itself as we speak.
It is.
A lot of people pockets, especially those who are investing in MAGA, who is sending money over to Trump. He's
you
picking
say maggot or maggot?
Well, maggot or MAGA.
You mean
but
maggot?
That is the name of the group.
Uh-huh.
And the saddest thing about it is you have a lot of poor whites who believe, they ain't got to be poor whites. You got a lot of retired people who believe, retired whites, and you know, and people. Average Americans, working class Americans who believe in this crazy rhetoric that there are people coming to steal their livelihoods. Mm-hmm. The job market is so crazy right now, to be honest with you. There are not really too many great paying livable wage jobs out there. And especially in the public sector. Uh-huh. You can find a bunch of technical difficulty,
yes,
but you can find, you know, some paper mill jobs, some car jobs, you know, some factory jobs, but it's getting ridiculous out there. Uh-huh. And with the people coming across the border, and we're hearing this rhetoric too from Republicans, that because they're coming across the border, Biden is giving them amnesty, that he's giving them money from what they're saying, and it's putting people who need jobs in a situation where they cannot, you know, they can't afford, because these people who are coming over here, uh-huh. they're stealing the jobs that nobody wants to work, mm-hmm. the jobs that, because they don't know no better, the corporations have given them wages, right. They're half paying them, right. They're not giving them benefits, right. And because they're not giving them benefits, they're looking at you, me, anybody who is the typical American as obsolete workers. We're not valuable to them because we're not what you would call cheap labor.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We're not cheap labor to them. Right. So there is no need of them hiring people who will not work for a certain wage because we're overqualified for them, uh-huh. supposedly. Uh-huh. And they just don't want to pay. They right. really don't. They right. really don't want to give you full-blown benefits. They don't want you to live on a livable wage. And because of it, we're all out here suffering, including him.
Yeah.
Right.
He's suffering.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but in the Bible it says, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. And I hate to say it, right, me, I'm feeling it too. Yeah. And because they have always been the first on the list before any. Hey. It's the truth. Right. It's the truth. Yeah. They have always been the first on the list for everything. Now you got other people who are coming in, and hey, if I can pay this person cheap and he can do the job better, then I'm going to give him over you a job. Uh-huh. And I'm sorry.
Florida learned that lesson. Florida learned that lesson the hard way. They got rid of all those migrants talking about they were stealing jobs, and then they couldn't find nobody to work. Nobody wanted them jobs. No matter how much you told, they was like, I'm not doing that. I don't want that crap. And this is then I tell people it's constant. COVID was in some sense, a blessing. COVID woke people up to realize they were working 60, 80 hours a week and they still were broke. And COVID showed them you could be broke and still survive the same way you were with them 68 hours. And you didn't even make as much money, but you still survived without having to work all that time. And then people also realized, because that's what the Affordable Care Act gave you, it gave you an option to leave the job, not be stuck because you only give your benefits there. You can go anywhere and get your benefits. That's what the Affordable Care Act was invented for, to give us the option to move around. People hated Obama for doing it, but that's the only way you're going to move. I was stuck in my job for 27 years because nobody would take me because of my high blood pressure and I had heart issues. Nobody's going to deal with me. But once he did the Affordable Care Act, I ran my ass from Virginia so fast you couldn't catch me. You saw the dust flying. I was getting the hell up out of there. Now, true, I suffered and I worked hard and I've done minimum wage job. I still did the same for that damn 20 grand a year that I did for that almost 70 grand a year. And I tell people it's crazy, but you don't realize how much you can do until you have to do it. And that's the thing we found out with COVID.
You could say that again for the people in the back row. That also too. What was that you just said? That powerful statement.
You don't know what you can do until you find out. You go find out. A lot of us thought that we needed those jobs. There were people making $2.35 an hour and working for tips. They found out to struggle and live like that. I ain't gonna do Uber for $8-9 an hour and still get away with whatever. Or I can actually go give me a job that can't. I hate to say it that way, blow people out, but Canon and all these other folks, Amazon, and make that 16, 17. But it's better than sitting at a place waiting for tips. But people don't tip. They're poor enough. Why would I give you my tips when I already need the money? So that's why we couldn't get any servers or waiters for that long period of time. It was like, I worked for pennies. It didn't do nothing for me. I do better on unemployment than I did on doggone server job. So, that COVID had a day of awakening to us to understand. And then it also made people realize, what is your passion? What is it you want to do versus what you have to do? And that's where people start finding out, go to school, take education. The little checks that Nancy Pelosi fought for that Trump didn't want us to have, but he put his name on them, is that little money helped out a lot. Let people actually find their destiny to see what it was they wanted to pursue, what would make them happy. Because as the saying goes, I'd rather do something I love that doesn't feel like work than to go somewhere and do work and not make anything and be miserable.
Wow.
But I'm like this, and I know what you're going to get at. But I've been saying this since the beginning of of this show. If we put the agendas aside for those,
but we don't want to do that.
We won't do it because we build our lives on following agendas.
Right.
As working class Americans, we are voting on agendas instead of voting on what we need for us to survive.
Exactly.
And that is my problem. You're voting on people who have a certain belief that you believe in, a belief system. Mm-hmm. But instead of voting on the fact that making your life better by trying to find ways to better the tax codes, by to deal with these corporations who are fighting regulations, which is what we need as workers to protect us from all types of craziness. You are voting for somebody who you think, well, I don't want her to have an abortion. I don't think they should get married. I don't think. In Louisiana, just not too long, some days back, they just voted on the 10 Commandments to be in each and every school.
Lord have mercy.
The 10 Commandments to be in each. Now we live in a United States of America where you have different religions.
Yep. This is just like getting in Iran. We might as well be in Iran.
Right.
We criticize Iran for this, but we're doing the same thing.
Right. Exactly.
Agendas. Agendas.
Y'all gonna make me do a Bible study teaching tonight.
They don't as working class Americans. Why are you doing this to yourself? You're putting the gun to yourself. They ain't got to do it. You're doing this when you vote these same people in who are telling you that the agenda weighs more than what you need. You need for your rent to be paid. You need to find a way to better your health care, mental health, your health care, everything. But you're voting on trying to take rights still away from somebody else.
Congress and Senate vote a raise for themselves every freaking year. Right. Without delay, without pause. They get a raise. They get an upgrade in their damn per diems and so forth. Now they want to raise the age of retirement. Why? Because we pay into that when we work. From the day you start working, you pay into that. You're going to take my money and tell me it's no good. This is like the post office. The post office was doing great till the Congress went in and said, well, instead of paying people their pension, why don't you have the pension already in there and then pay them? Who can afford that? Now the post office is scrambling, trying to make those ends meet. They screw that stuff up, but they get their money. They never stop there. They never raise their retirement age. They never take their pensions down. They never do any of that for them, but they look at us and say, well, they need to work to 67. Who in the hell? I'm 63 years old. I'm out here doing work on film sets and so forth, I'm too old for that shit. It's a damn crying shame that I have to do that to make a living because you tell me I got to work to 67 because you don't like the fact I can collect a check and live comfortable for the rest of my days.
You know, I mean, you both were saying so much. I mean, it's like, you know, in that little statements you made and what you said, it that alone is so much to unpack, you know, in terms of conversation, you know, where it is the navigating through this religious sector that I think really honestly that has such a grip on America. Because anytime that you say to Americans, I don't care what perspective, unless they have found themselves, every time you say, well, the Bible said, scripture quote, the church says this, blah, 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 it's like it draws pause to wherever they are, and they feel like that sector has the absolute truth behind the truth, which they don't. Okay, and what they have done is they have manipulated humanity into thinking that they have the absolute truth. All right,
because that's religion in a way.
Well, it does, but in the sector, because this country, this portion of country has been referred to as being a Christian country, which it is not. And we can say it over and over again because so what you're doing when you say that it dismisses Buddha, it dismisses Hindu, it dismisses Islam, it dismisses everything else and freedom that people came to America to have in their own understanding, in their own right. But this kind of leads me into a little statement that I made the other. I mean, I've been on Instagram, like I told you guys earlier, and I'm coming after you if you're making stupid ass statements out there. So here is this is one thing we can open up for a conversation. This group, okay, there was a Pride event, okay, that was going on. You guys know that June, right? Yeah, June was Pride Month, right? Okay, so this group of of LGBT community, they were having an event, okay, in their park, enjoying themselves, you know, and so we have Mr. What I want to call it, self-righteous, comes in the midst of their event. Hear me now. In the midst of their event, they didn't go to his church. They didn't go to his Bible study. Okay, he came in the midst of their event, spewing scripture at them and telling them that they were wrong. Okay, so they surrounded him and they let him have it. Okay, they were making all kind of barking noises at him, and they were doing all this other type of thing. He's standing like, "Well, I'm in God, so therefore this is not going to bother me." You can go on Instagram and check it out, guys. So anyway, my post to them was somebody put out there they're mocking God. I said, no, they're not mocking God. They are mocking, if any, the self-righteous person that's in front of them. Okay, I admit. Some of the behavior are a little over the top. Okay, get it, you know, in some cases. However, it is no different than the guy quoting scriptures. Okay, Christians, it is not your responsibility to make anyone understand God the way you see the way you see him to be. Okay, your first job is to love unconditionally. Okay, that means without judgment. Okay, if we are believers that have complete approach, believe that we have the complete approach to God for humanity, we would not have a belief factor over 36,000 different interpretations of Scripture. 36,000, okay, interpretations. Anyway, so and I go on to say we need to focus on the message that help people in the ways that we should. We need to stop our non-responsive ways and start showing that love is the key to humanity, and leave, if any adjustments to somebody's life, leave it up to them. Okay, or leave it up to God.
Just mind your damn business.
Well, that's true, but they won't do it.
Let's just be real. Mind your damn business. Mind the business that pay you, which means you need to be worried about what's going on with your bank,
right,
and with your money,
right,
and why it's not able to pay the rent,
right,
or the bills that are set up on the table.
Right.
Stop worrying about who I'm sleeping with,
right,
and what I'm doing with my body. Worry about why you cannot pay for groceries,
and
that is the situation that Biden needs to put up on a damn billboard. Mind your damn business.
Okay.
Mind your damn business.
Get out the window. That's it. Yes, that was out the window. Look in the mirror. Get out the damn window. Look in the mirror. You're too busy in the window worry about what everybody else doing when you're not looking in the mirror at what you've been doing. What is it going on in your house? What are you not doing? What are you so self-righteous about?
Right.
That should be the Democrats. Let me tell you something. We talk about the Democrats' PR all the time.
Right.
They are shooting themselves in the foot.
Right.
Trump ain't got to do it. They doing it to themselves.
Right.
Just like we came up with those slogans. Those slogans would hit home. I'm just saying, the average American cannot. They can only take in as much as they can take in information. Now we're on this platform spilling as much information about what we know, and yeah, there are people who are probably there like, well, it's just so much going on and too much going on. I can't listen to too much. But if you came with a message that really sticks like glue, mind your damn business.
Okay.
That would make somebody say, why is he saying that?
Right.
Who is he talking to? Number one, people and I'm telling you, that will definitely in Biden's situation hit home with a lot of people.
Well,
a lot of people.
But people can't mind their own damn business. Because therefore, like you said, down in Louisiana, that's why we put in 10 Commandments, so we can get further into your business. Okay. But let me say this about the 10 Commandments real quick. Okay. Why are you going to put something up there that you can't follow yourself in the beginning? All right. Okay. That's the first thing.
Not lie,
okay. And all the thou shalt not that are involved in that. Here's a quick point about the 10 Commandments and why it was put into place. But again, I said I was going to teach a Bible study today, but you got to tell people what it means when they don't know what it means. You know, and they don't know what it means. They really don't know what it means. They think that they're governing God because they're putting his 10 Commandments out there, and everybody got to follow behind 10 rules that they don't even understand the purpose of those 10 rules. But I'm gonna say it this way and wrap it up. We're gonna move on. Okay, there were 10 guidelines. Number one, there were 10 rules. So those 10 rules, okay, were instituted by the idea of Moses and what he could not follow. Okay, if you understand your biblical history, all right. But I'm not gonna get into all that tonight. All right. Here's the thing: there are 10 guidelines. Okay, the first 3 are the appropriate part of the 10. Okay, if you master the first 3, the 10 will not be a problem. So you don't have to be religious. You don't have to be a part of the Christian community. You can just be a great person on the planet, because those were not written for scriptural people. I mean, for Christian people. I want to make that clear. All right, because there weren't Christians around when they were produced. Okay, when Moses thought of them. Okay, those were for Jewish people. All right, the Bible.
He didn't even think of them.
Huh?
He didn't think of them, because if you want to tell the truth, there was already a set of rules for the people to go by, and they snatched them 10 out and pretended that God gave it to them and told them to present it to the people. They don't understand there was already a guideline set out there already. It was already put in a booklet for the people to live by. So Moses didn't discover anything.
Don't go there yet. But
history of the world said there were 15.
Let me stop.
And then the tablet, bro.
But the truth behind the truth is that and it sums it up this way, because I mean I can get into teachings about Moses and let y'all know what y'all been believing has been way off base. But anyway, so here's the thing about the 10. All right, follow the first 3: love God, love yourself, love humanity. Love God, love yourself, love humanity. That's the first 3. Don't believe me? Go check it out. You master the first 3, then the other 7 will be very easy for you. But the problem is that you can't master the first 3. That's why you want all people accountable to the other 7. All right. If you can't follow the 3, then don't worry about the 7. Okay. You won't steal, you won't cheat, you won't covet, you won't do all the other things that are involved in the last 7. Think about it. Check it out. Go get the information for yourself. I'm telling you the truth behind the truth. Let's go on.
Well, I just feel like this. At the end of the day, just mind your damn business.
Well, like you said, and that's one commandment right there.
That mind your damn business. But you know what? Like I said, you know, at the end of the day, when we get away from agendas in this country, we will be it would be a better situation, especially for those who are having to deal with what we're having to deal with economically. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all struggling out here to do what we need to do.
Right.
But yeah, I just feel like until we get away from that and vote on what we need, we would be better off. But you got to get away from. You got to get people out of their situations.
So true.
And it's not about you. It's about a whole sector of people out here besides you who are having some issues. And that's what that man was just saying. He said he can't even afford to bring at least some money back for his family. He can't even look his wife and his children in the face because he ain't making no money. He's not making enough money. And that there is sad.
Hold on, Charlie.
It is. I was going to say, my dad told me this, and I live by this. He said, if you shut up sometimes and listen, you'll learn something.
Absolutely. Hey, y'all shut up and get just pay attention to more Truth Behind Truth because we're coming right back after this break.
Call 844-55-STARZ. It's Junk Stars, baby.
Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need...
Okay. Must have a little bit of a technical difficulty here tonight, guys. But anyway, we're back in. We're back in. We had a little difficulty there for the commercial tonight. We're back in. But anyway, so your point is very powerful about that, and what we're saying, here again, people, is expand your mind. Okay, don't find yourself so limited in your understanding because there's too much information out here. Okay, way too much information out here. We have said to you guys on a regular basis, follow the truth behind the truth. Like us, share us, which we still look to continue to do that. We have got over 350 shows that we have put together for you guys over the past 4 years, okay? And variations of subjects and topics to help benefit you, okay? But I promise you, even those of you that are watching tonight, how many of you have gone back into our video library, okay, either on Facebook or on YouTube and checked out some of those shows? I promise you, there's more there for inspire you to give you better understanding of how to frame your life than you have ever done. All the other garbage that y'all out there watching. All right, all of this racial implications of things where black people saying this black. You can say black all you want to, okay, but at the end of the day, staying as black as you want to ain't gonna get you more money in your pocket, no money in your bank, and all these other things. Which brings me to one other point, and we got to say this. There was a comment again on Instagram that they were mentioning this. As I said, I'm going after folks. So my thing is, I said to this group of people that were out there, I don't have time to go back to my exact quote, but what I basically said to them is like this. They were always talking about black empowerment, whatever, things like this. So I said, what are you doing to do that? Okay, so if you want to empower black people, okay, guess what? You are the head person. I'm going to take it to a lowest common denominator. You are a CEO manager at McDonald's. How many African-American people are you employing at your McDonald's that are you empowering them with the education to go out and be managers of their own McDonald's? Okay, let's just take it there. How many of you work in a bank? How many of you are hiring in the bank of people of color to work in your bank? Okay, how many of you are on CEO level companies, okay, that you're not hiring African-American or black or brown people to work in your corporation? Okay, let's go in further. How many of you are starting businesses? Okay, this is going to lead me into what I said the other day about June 15th. Okay, we wanted to celebrate, okay, a holiday, which in my opinion, which we talked about was last week on the show, how fictitious this particular holiday is and how unnecessary it is. We should, as African-American people, you should be more proud of yourself than the fact of wanting to celebrate information that had been held up from you for 2 years. Was it 2 years? 2 years held up from you, somebody coming to tell you that you were free. Now, really, is that worth to have all of this pomp and circumstances, concerts and stuff? I don't know, the lawn at the White House and all of this for a holiday that doesn't even speak to the progression of who you are as a cultural people? Really?
Yeah.
Did you all stop and take the opportunity to stop and think about that? So here's my thing. Last one, I'm gonna shut up. Next year, maybe the Truth Behind Truth needs to institute this around Juneteenth. Okay, I want to put the challenge out there in the universe that every assembly of what we call the houses of worship, which y'all, I got so much to say about people's lives. Open your doors up. Talk to the communities in your banks, all of the entrepreneurs in your area, and have educational fairs during Juneteenth to empower the black community. Okay, I have the banks come. Have the banks come and open up to people. Have loans. Wait, hold on. Have loans getting approved right there on your church ground. Okay, you want the money? Okay, help the people in your community to get better. All right, that's what
I'm all with that. I'm all with that, but my problem is, how can we take a funky ass holiday like June 19th and then turn it into we couldn't do an anti-lynching law, we can't do reparations, we can't do the civil rights bill, we can't do none of that, but we can do in 3 days we can do a damn funky ass holiday about being the last ones to figure out that slavery was over with. That's so damn asinine. That's stupid as hell. I'm still not understanding how that is so important versus all the other shit we need to do. That was able to go through in no time. Bam, we got a holiday. We don't need a holiday. We need some damn intellect is what we need. Some understanding.
Got that fast.
To be honest with you, we too performative when it comes down to.
Oh wow!
Well, I mean, to be honest with you,
that's good.
We look for entertainers, we look for actors, we look for everybody to move our communities, and they're not trying to move no community. It's all it's demagoguery when it boils down to. And I love Kendrick Lamar. Don't get me wrong. I respect the brother. He has. I love his art. I love what he speaks about. But I don't like the fact that we're making him like this Martin Luther King when he's not Martin Luther King, because Martin Luther King had bills passed within Congress. You know, in the 60s, in the 60s alone, the Congress had more bills passed than in any other decade. I'm talking about the 60s. I'm talking about the civil rights movement had Congress pass so many bills pertaining to us being full citizens of this country. But
and our rights.
And our rights, basically. But you know, we weren't full citizens until 1968, from what my mom used to tell me. Because to be honest, we didn't have the right to vote. We weren't really full-blown American citizens.
And as of now, any child born from 2 years ago and beyond, they will not have as many rights as we had coming up. They are going to lose all their rights starting now in the last couple of years. They want a child now, even a toddler, has less rights than we had as children. And we were in the civil rights movement. They will never experience these rights. And the crazy part about it is black folks right now seem to think they're doing so well because they got a cell phone. They got a car. They got a job that pays $60,000. They got, they go on vacation to Dominican Republic. So they're doing so great right now. They ain't doing shit. They need to figure out what it takes to get all of us elevated and what it takes to get all of us in the position where there was a time, and I'm not praising them, but there was a time a man could have 3 families off his job, off his paycheck in different neighborhoods. Now, man, you can't even take care of one family. Now the women today are dogging the men out because they can't take care of one family. And it ain't their fault that they're not getting paid or that we're doing this crazy diversity thing where they say, well, if we hire a black woman, we ain't got to hire a black man. We killed 2 birds, 2 stones, a woman and a black person. Now we got 2 people killed.
We're fighting each other. And we're putting
exactly.
We're always fighting each other. And to be honest with you, I'm so tired of people saying, well, I'm doing this for the culture. Stop saying that and do something. And do something. Stop explaining and stop performing and do something. My thing is until we unite as a community and put BS aside and stop dancing and singing and hip hop, let's come to the table and say, this is what we need to do. Everybody else is doing it. And it's like that man said on Roland Martin the other day. He said, you know what's so funny? Where there is a Chinese synagogue, you will never see a soul food restaurant next door to it. That really stuck with me right there. That stuck with me. You will never see a soul food restaurant next to a synagogue. But you will see a Chinese restaurant next to a Baptist church. Especially
we don't participate in our own community. My community in Chicago, prime example. Every business around my home, including the movie theater, was black owned. As we grew up, those folks got older and they tried to pass on. Those businesses went closed and the offices were vacant for a long time. Then the Arabs came in, took the business. You know the first thing we said, why they got a business on there? Because your ass wouldn't take it over. Because you wouldn't go in and operate it. You were so busy talking about, I ain't doing no business. Then when other people come and take it over, now you're mad. You're upset because they took it over. But you know what they do? They come and make money. They don't worry about what you feel. They're going to watch you as you walk through the store. They're going to raise the prices. They're going to make their family. They'll fit 15 in a 2-bedroom home. You know what we'll do? I need my own place. I don't need to be up in here.
But you know what's so, and to add on to it, and like I said, until we put the BS to the side, until we start learning how to mentor each other without tearing each other down and calling each other out of our names, we would be in a better situation. But to be honest with you, when it boils down to it, we have to learn how to respect each other as well as ourselves.
Right.
As part of the diaspora, because I can say African American, Black, whatever, but we're part of a tribe of people who've been through so much hell. We've been through so much, and especially in this country alone, that we tend to want to go back into situations where it's like a PTSD type of situation. And people and you say this all the time. Why do we have to revert back when we need to be reverting forward? We need to go forward. Right. And that is the situation with Juneteenth that I have a problem with, because the history itself lets you know that as a people, still to this day, we're still relying on white words to give us information.
All right.
And I understand Texas. I understand Texas celebrating it. In Texas, it happened there. Okay, but for the rest of us, it has no connection to us. None.
No, not at all. Look at Biden. Look at Trump. Why are we still relying on white, even in our churches? We're still relying on the evangelicals to still give us our policies and our money and all of this stuff within the Black church. That is still a problem. But that, like I say, Juneteenth is still a representation of that. I don't like it.
And we're on that subject, but it really, honestly, it hurts my heart. And this is coming from a very sincere place, that we have taken, and I'm going to say not we, because collectively here we don't, but I'm going to say we as a community, we have just fully embraced something that has put us back into a position of thought pattern. There is nothing succession about that whole idea. I'm just going to stay on it. I mean, I am, because I think it's a vein that we need to stay in. Those that understand it, maybe that it'll be an awakening moment for those that don't understand it, and realizes that what have you done? What have you done to yourself? What mockery have you put yourself under? And I mean, I can imagine some of these other communities understand how irresponsibly illiterate that we have made ourselves be represented in this community because of that. I mean, really, it's irresponsible in our history. And going forward with it, like you said, Charles, to all of these other bills that we can think about needs to be passed right now.
Reparations. Right
now. Okay, we ain't gonna talk about reparations because that can't even happen, because it will be spent before it even got to the bank account. Okay, so the Cadillac, and the Rolls Royce, they already bought. So you ain't got to worry about that. We don't be no Black businesses. So we ain't got to talk about reparations because they ain't ready for it. But you accept Juneteenth, but you're ready for reparations. The two don't mix. Okay, I'm sorry. The two don't mix. Not in the real world. Not in your fantasy world, it probably does. And I don't apologize for coming straight at you. Don't like it, send me an email. All right? Because the
government just told the lady that did Tulsa, she tried her last attempt in court to get her land back that they took from her, and they had the nerve to tell her, we really can't get that back to you. Why can't you? You even know it belongs to her. Why you can't get that woman her property back? We just can't do that. Why? Because you'll upset the people who took it. And those are the ones you have more concern with than those who have been wronged and had things done to them that shouldn't have been done. You don't look at the law or the I guess you call it the righteousness of what the situation stood for. You can't change it because you don't, and you won't because you won't. They took forever to crucify that cop who ran the guy over with the car. Say he was running. What was he doing to run him over with the car?
Right.
They didn't indict him. It took all that time to indict him. It was on video. You saw it. You know he ran him over. But you had to think about it first. And then you still only gave him, 10 years?
Right.
When anybody else does something, it'd be life.
So let me drop a little nugget in the midst of our conversation here real quick. So, again, referring back to this stuff that's been floating across Instagram this week. So one of these idiots out there put for that his reason for voting for Trump is because Trump reformed the criminal justice system.
He did.
He freed blacks in the criminal justice. I said, you know what? I went for him. Okay. I said, but you know what? I really don't even have the time really to get in this because there's not enough room on Instagram to respond to. But I said, let me make you clear, okay, just even how this political system runs and how much you don't know. All right. So one of the major reasons why I don't care what president it could have been that's in office, be it Democrat or Republican, guess what? Your criminal justice system, it funds the presidency. This is why they cannot go in and tear it down or reform it. Because guess what? It's their biggest donation comes from incarcerating people. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna top Harry Tubman. Governor Moreland in DC in Maryland exonerated 175,000 people for marijuana. That's the biggest. Man, how can marijuana be legal and white people be selling it on the stores, have dispensaries and everything else, but there's black people in jail for being a part of that same system?
But what you just
175,000 people.
Yeah.
But what you just said was a representation of Juneteenth.
Uh-huh.
Everybody knows that. No, Trump didn't do that. It took a gambit of people within Congress to get things done for that to have happened. For him to have, but at least an organization within. See, the thing about that is, this is where I feel like this country has auditioned itself for an autocrat.
Oh, you covered some good stuff tonight. He covered some good stuff tonight, Charles.
I'm just saying. When you hear people say, well, Biden did this and Trump did this, I'm like, wait a minute, do y'all not understand that we have a Congress and a Senate?
Oh.
I'm just saying, where am I living?
A three-tier justice system. A three-tier. Not the 1 or 2, but a three-tier justice system. Checks and balances.
Dictator, y'all.
I
know. But at the end of the day, this country is ready for a dictator. They have auditioned themselves for a dictator for many, many years. And because of the fact that you have people who have a hatred for other people and other cultures, they are willing to turn this country into a nationalist, Christian right, Anglo-Saxon country.
As someone who's been to Cuba, Iran, Iraq, Israel, let me just tell you, when an autocrat says something, there is no let's stand up and do a protest. You protest all you want, you get your ass whipped. You will be in jail and you may die. So all that crap about, we need somebody to take over. You let them take over. Saddam Hussein, I tell this constantly, Saddam Hussein had a rule. If his picture can't be seen when you walk to the front door of your home, you get flogged.
That's right.
You ain't got to have a picture of Biden in your house or Trump in your house. Try doing it when an autocrat gets in office. That's same with Cuba. If you don't have the leader in your house where I can see his picture, you will get in trouble. There's no Putin will. You can't talk against Putin. You get poisoned or killed. You think that works like that there? And everybody goes, well, I'm gonna do what I want to do. No, you're not, because you can't fight the system once it takes over.
No,
the universe forbid, but there's gonna be if it doesn't, there's gonna be a lot of orange houses.
But we're itching our way towards it.
A lot of orange houses, baby.
We are.
A lot of orange houses. You might what's that place? Bear at Home Depot. They better stock up on that.
Yeah, you better.
But anyway,
but I'm just saying, and it's funny though, because Trump is saying if he gets back in, he's cutting off all government funding for blue cities. Now, you live in Atlanta, we live out here in LA, New York is another one. He's going to cut off all government funding. He said this. But then on top of that, he believes in states' rights. And I'm going to go back to this too. He said that he will not even get in the middle of what the states are going to do. And I want black folks who are, if they are listening, I hope you understand what that is. When you're living in a culture of states that believes in states' rights, that means all government protections are cut off, literally cut off. That is the reason why the Tulsa massacre could have happened, because of the simple fact that the United States government didn't even get involved.
Love this man.
They didn't get involved in stuff like that, race riots and all that stuff. They didn't get involved in that. J. Edgar Hoover expunged all that stuff because that wasn't any of his problems until an international headline. Because the death of Emmett Till, and the death of Emmett Till embarrassed President Eisenhower. It embarrassed him because what had happened right after World War II, we was that country that believed in freedom. We freed all of the Jews out of the concentration camps. Then you have this 14-year-old boy whose body was mutilated. And you had the Soviet Union who caught wind of the news and looked at the United States and said, I thought y'all were about equal rights and freedom, and now you're killing your own people because they're black.
The March on Selma had the same effect. You claimed that the people could be marched peacefully, but you went in with bats and dogs and just beat women and kids because they were saying they wanted rights. Well, when did that become such a detrimental thing to have or to even speak of?
And you have Tim Scott saying this shit is right. Tim Scott and that Donald fool keeps talking about, well, you know, we thrived during Jim Crow. We never.
Now, you know I'm not religious. I'm not very religious. So please don't make me cuss. Please don't make me cuss because I'm going to cuss real bad. Please don't make me do that.
And I hope that black pastors, I hope they understand that because of the black church, the black church was the cornerstone of our community. And the white power structure was. And the white power structure knew that. And because of it, those churches were either bombed or either burned up. Or, you know, I'm just saying, understand states' rights. You're talking about you cutting yourself off from everything that will protect you from all of this craziness that is now wanting and waiting, because now they're looking for Trump to get back in that White House and to say it's time now that we now take over. Mob rule, forget about the judicial system, because that would be shit. Forget about it. It won't even exist in certain parts of the United States. You're talking about places like Mississippi and Alabama, Florida, and all those places. Shoot, mob rule will win over judicial system. And hey, we have seen it before, lynchings. Hey, you just
you know, I mean, as we say every week on this show, guys. I mean, you know, we really want a better America.
Yeah.
You know, a better America. Are we coming strong? No, I don't think so. You know, I think it's the identification of what needs to happen to wake your ass up. All right,
make America live up to its promise. Make it live up to its promise. Stop that shaking and baking. Make it live up to its promise. You claim all men are equal. You claim we all have the rights up under God and the government. Let us have our rights. Stop saying that there's limitations on everything only based on class. And that's basically where we're at, class. Not amount of skin tone. It's just most of the skin tone that controls it is white, but it's basically class. Because there are a lot of folks who believe that if I was rich, I'd do what they do. Well, damn it, you ain't going to be rich and you'll never be one of them. So I don't care how much you okay what they do, you will never be them.
Well, did we just not play a video? Okay, if you missed the video, we'll play it again next week. So here's a white gentleman, okay, feeling the extreme pressures of life because of what is going on in this country. And y'all want to say white is right. I'm sorry. You know.
All class. All class.
And then this man, and then how's he not running to white privilege, as y'all will say? There is white privilege, you know, but you have money behind that privilege. This man ain't got no money. Okay,
that's it.
Stewart, you know, even said that in the movie The Great Survival. See, that's the thing about, you know, one thing.
I just love this man, y'all. He is the history buff of history. I'm telling y'all.
Because see, this was what bothers me about this. We have such great intellect, we have history, we know these things can happen again.
Can't believe it.
But you have people who don't understand that history can repeat itself.
But what is it not to understand? This shit has already happened. I mean, I'm not debating you. What is it not to understand, people? This shit has already happened.
But they say, "Oh, it won't happen to me. Oh, I'd never be a slave. I'd never let anybody."
But this child, the shit has already hit the fan. How can you not say it did not hit the fan and it flew all over the room and the damn room stink? How can you not say that? I mean, you know, I don't get that. And that's probably my biggest puzzle each and every day, looking at these fools that are out here on TV, on social media, making all of this shitty ass propaganda. Okay, to make the room smell even more shittier than you did when the shit hit the fan. Come on, y'all. Really?
And you have a party that's talking about cutting up all government organizations, not healthcare, but what was it? What's the retirement plans? Social
yeah.
All
Social Security
created to help people during the Great Depression. because this is almost a Great Depression in its own little way. But you
remember, trickle down doesn't work. Trickle down is not a thing. The trickle down theory does not work. It only works when you're shitting and pissing on people. That's the only time trickle down works. It's the only time.
Yeah, but you have Republicans saying we need to cut this stuff because we need to clear up the national debt. But every time there's a Republican that comes through, the debt always goes up. It increases. But when a Democrat comes through, it clears itself out. Hey, Obama did it. Right. Then come Trump. You know,
Clinton did it. Clinton did it. Hey, right. Just that easy.
But then they want to put so much military money into the military. That's my thing with Republicans. They believe in military spending. They love war. We got to go back to war.
But nobody else. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, they love war, but it's the Democrats that to promote war. Wow, y'all. I mean, and again, I'm hearing all this and reading all this. Y'all don't know shit, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm really y'all don't.
You can't blame the school system.
Well, no.
There's so much. These phones are. It's definitely the school system in itself because I don't go to a certain item and just look at it all day and don't look at anything else. If somebody tells me something foolish and stupid and I say, well, I'm going to just do research and I go do research, I use this phone. I want to know what the hell this person is telling me because, hey, you know, people they don't want to do research. I mean, they don't want responsibility nor accountability to do it. And that's the saddest thing about it.
It is right there, and that device is right there. Well, hey. Okay, and they scroll and they scroll and they scroll and they scroll some more, and the most clueless people I have ever seen in my entire life. I mean, again, this week for me has just been this real battle.
Call 844-55-STARZ. It's Junkstars, babe.
Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need junk removed,
call Junkstars.
You need dumpster rentals?
Call Junkstars.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Yeah, hey, we were talking too much. The commercial had to come in. All right. Got to pay for our little bit. We got to pay for it here, so that's why the commercial came on. But anyway, so but as we're saying tonight, you know, we're just going to kind of bring it to our wrap here, as we do each and every week. You know, this man is powerful. I mean, I'm so honored and blessed to have him right beside me in so many ways. And I think we are just the reflection of a team of two individuals that care about humanity. We sometimes sit back here at our house and wonder why we care so damn much, you know, because, you know, be it on our jobs, be it in the situation, the people we come in contact with, you know, we're always trying to find a way of encouraging people to see their lives better. I know that he does, you know, in what we do in our everyday life outside of what we do, you know, for here on The Truth Behind the Truth. We say it again, and I'm going to say it again, you know, like and share what we're doing. Okay. Like and share what we're doing. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We are, on YouTube. Okay. As I said earlier, we have got 300 or more shows that are listed on YouTube that I promise you guys have not even seen 10 of them. Okay. And sit back and watch 10 of them from beginning to end. Or it gets distracting, or this is going on. Whatever. There, you could go back. You could put it on just like a podcast. Okay, and get on the treadmill. Okay, put it on in your car. Okay, while you working around the house. Hey, if you got a smart TV, once you subscribe to us on your smart TV, guess what? It will pop up for you each and every time you turn your TV on. All right, so there is no excuses for not following the truth behind the truth, and allowing yourself to be endowed with such great information, okay, be it politically, be it of the religious sector. You know, some people say they stop watching this because y'all talk about church folks, but what, you're damn straight. Okay, because a lot of the problems in the way we think as human beings have been so poisoned by the things that have been misinformed coming from the places that we call worship, and not teaching and helping you become the better part of humanity that God created you to be. All right, that's your responsibility to move into it. By you judging people and you know, and going into this direction. Oh, you know what? Before we go, and I'm gonna let you close out, you know, with things today. There was this thing that people put out, you know, on Instagram. Again, I mentioned this earlier about the rainbow, okay, and then how the LGBTQ community has just hijacked the rainbow, and so they have stolen the promise of God to humanity. So my question is okay, so the LGBTQ community have stolen the promise of God to humanity. All right. So where in that whole idea is there separation in humanity? Okay. How dare you to even remotely bring up to say that a sector of people have decided to embrace the promises of God on their lives, okay, and accept the rainbow as the promise as you have declared that it is. But that rainbow was done, there was a promise of God that he wouldn't destroy the earth, quote unquote, fictionally, again, by water. So you make sure you know what you're saying before you start saying something, okay, and understand why the rainbow was in place. That was a promise that was made to Noah about not destroying the earth again, okay, by water, okay. So, but that's even a kind of a story that may or may not have happened, but you know, all you Bible scholars already know that, you know, so you wouldn't be quoting stuff that you already know. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. I said I wasn't. I'm not gonna come at y'all. I'll come at y'all later. All right, babe, go ahead and give us a closing wrap.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I always thought the rainbow was really a connection to the Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
Because to be honest, I always knew about Noah's Ark. Don't get me wrong, but you know what? To be honest with you, that the movie The Wizard of Oz has some. It has something for beautiful. Me. It's a powerful. It's a movie with a powerful message, because what this country needs, even right now, is a brain, and a heart, and some courage.
That's true.
And I hate to say this, we are losing all three. Yeah. Because to be honest with you, when you have a brain, you can decipher what is foolishness and what is truth. With the heart, you are able to bring in anybody and everything, because there is no judgment. There is no judgment if you have a heart. Okay. And if you have the courage, you are able to stand up and to stand up against ignorance and hate and everything that is so not of humanity, what you believe that humanity should be. So, like I'm saying, that rainbow. That is a connection to, I feel like, to that story of the Wizard of Oz, is what we need to, like you say, is the promise, but it's what this country needs to rely to go back and believe, at least.
The key element to what you were saying,
yes,
is that the major problem is that we still keep looking for the man behind the curtain.
Oh, woo! The man behind the curtain.
The man behind the curtain.
Boy.
Isn't that something?
Yes,
you're still looking for the man behind the curtain.
And he's supposed to be coming back down through a cloud, right?
Oh, well. Okay.
Hey, that's what I'm not saying. I just know what I know. He's supposed to be coming
still
back.
looking for the man behind the curtain. Okay. But guess what? She found her way home by believing
in herself.
All right. That's the word for tonight. We'll see you guys next week right here on The Truth Behind the Truth. Good night, y'all.